Hello, I'm Mike Tarbard. I'm chairman of the Bata Heritage Centre. Here we are today at East Tilbury beside the Thomas Bata statue. Well, Thomas Bata was a Czech gentleman. He and his brother and sister started off in 1894 in a small cobbler's shop in Zlín in Czechoslovakia, as we now know it. And they developed a small town for the workers. And he decided he wanted to expand his empire, but there was an undercurrent from some of the shoemakers, particularly up in Northampton, because they felt that Thomas Bata was bringing in cheap shoes. So his idea was that if he had a factory here in England, then he wouldn't have the same problem. He eventually found 600 odd acres of land here in East Tilbury. In January 1932, the contract was signed to purchase the land, and in March 1932, the completion took place. Unfortunately, Thomas Bata was killed in an air crash in July 1932 when he was on his way from Zlín to Milan in Switzerland to open a new factory. It started off with one small building, factory building, where they did everything, made the shoes, boxed the shoes, did everything to do with it. And he decided to use his vision from Zlín and build up some houses for his workers. So the first set of houses were built in 1934 in Bata Avenue. Over the period of time, both pre and post-war, estate built up, and there was something like 300 odd houses at the end of the day. He was very keen to develop after-work activities, so some of the first things he built here, apart from houses, were tennis courts, an open-air swimming pool. The cinema opened in 1935-36 time. It became very much a multicultural society. In the early days, Thomas Bata sent Czech people here to manage the building, to manage the people, to show them how to make shoes. And at the same time, he identified some English people and sent them out to Zlín in Czechoslovakia. Those people came back and became the first English managers here at British Bata. Post-war, we then had a number of people coming here who stayed after the war. So we had a lot of Polish, a lot of Maltese. There were also a lot of people coming from the Sikh community in Gravesend. So they would come across on the Gravesend ferry to Tilbury, then pick up the train at Tilbury Riverside to come here to East Tilbury. One of the problems that Bata here faced was the cheap importation of shoes in the early 1970s. And it ended up with the factory here closing in mid-2000s. But there is a link between Bata East Tilbury and one of the Bata sites in India, and that's Bata Nagar. And I believe the Silk River project is developing very strong links between Bata East Tilbury and Bata Nagar.